Hi, it's the Cheap Bastard. Rob is my real name, but Cheap Bastard is my show name. And why do they call me cheap? Well, I wouldn't say I'm cheap. I'm probably more frugal. But I just want to make some quick points about how you can give yourself a raise without, I'm trying to get a good camera angle here, without begging and borrowing and stealing from your boss. Okay? Your boss will say, no, I can't give you a raise. And that's okay because you don't really need your boss. Here's what you do. Okay, these are just suggestions, and everybody's going to have a little modifications, but you can have some fun with this because I've saved a lot of money, and you can do a lot of good things with that money. I mean, let's face it, life is a series of events, some of them good and some of them bad, depending on your interpretation. But if you need a furnace that needs to be fixed, and you know how expensive they can be, or a vehicle, or maybe some dental work for the kids, you know, or yourself. I have something I have to get done. Here's what you're going to do. If you're like me, I caught myself going to, well, I was going to mention the name, but that's not a good idea. A coffee shop in the morning on my way to work, and a coffee shop on my way home from work. Okay? And sometimes even lunch in the cafeteria. Yeah, and I started adding up some of these costs, work related costs, not including the commute to work back and forth. And I was shocked. I added up some expenses, like my coffee expense was like almost $5 a day. And then, of course, my lunch expense averaged out because I didn't eat out every day, but still averaged out to $7 a day for a whole week. $35 there, and throw in another, I don't know, $5 a day, another $25 for coffee. That's just 1 week. And you're looking at $50 in a hurry. Now, $50 is, well, you know, it's not a huge amount of money, but it's still nice to have it in your pocket as opposed to somebody else's. My point is that $50 a week adds up to about $2,600 by the end of the year. Now you say, holy cow, that's a lot of money. What can you do with $2,600? Well, in itself, you could do a few things if you had some repairs to do around the house. Or you could throw it into, like I've done, is throw it into an RSP and get the tax deductible savings on that. So, like say your tax bracket is 30% and you put $2,500 away. Well, you could reasonably expect maybe $700 to $800 back. And plus, you still have the original $2,400, $2,500, whatever dollars it is away in the bank. So now you've just created $3,000. Okay, that's more good news. Another thing I do that helps us out quite a bit is my wife and I do this. We garden. We grow some of our own food. And I do a little fishing, and we eat some of the fish. And I have some friends who barter for eggs. We want eggs, and we'll barter some vegetables or whatever we happen to have handy. If you work together, you can really reduce your cost, and it can turn it into a game. Another thing I like to do is you want to double your income as far as your food budget goes. Don't buy anything unless it's half price. You can wait it out. You get to know the sales when they come out. The time, like for instance, around here in this part of Canada, shortly after New Year's Day, hamburger and other beef products go on sale. Now I don't know why that is. Maybe perhaps they're cleaning out the freezer, cleaning out the fridge because the inventory built up. I don't know. My kids like Kraft dinner. I'm not endorsing the product, but I'm just saying they enjoy that. But I don't pay, well, I don't know what it is in the store these days, $1.30, $1.40 for a box. My buy price is somewhere in the 50s, 50 cents that is. So, I mean, that could save like 60, 70%. You just got to be patient, and you got to be able to forecast. How much are you going to need for a certain period of time, and how long is the product's shelf life good for? These are things you have to ask yourself, and then you have to rotate your stock as well. Now, I got a deal on some honey a while ago. Actually, 2 years ago, $5.99 for a kilogram of honey, Canadian. Okay, and that's a pretty good deal, and I loaded right up. I'm not worried about the expiry date with honey because it lasts forever. So it's kind of like actually a hedge against inflation. Gold is not something I invest in. I never will. Gold is a non-productive asset in my opinion. Food, like agriculture products and things like that, is a little bit different. But I'm not here to give you stock tips or anything like that. I'm just saying basic things that you can do to change your financial picture. Okay, and of course, reduce your credit card debt. I mean, that's just common sense if you have it, because that's your debt with the most expenses on it. And a lot of, I noticed with my own children in particular, they really hype on some of the newer technologies. I think you know what I'm talking about. These special little slim phones and things. I find a lot of the kids are getting lost in that technology. The technology can be used for good, but a lot of the kids are just, it's almost numbing what they do, the games they play. And this is the adults too, and I'm just as guilty as anybody else. But it prevents you from using your imagination to solve some of your problems, or just create some new and wonderful ideas, projects that you might want to pursue. Anyway, I can't think of anything other. I mean, baking your own bread, we do that. I don't know if it saves us any money. However, I do feel that the taste and the quality of the bread is superior to what you would find in a grocery store. No fault to them. I mean, they're in business to make money, but the thing is, I've decided that I want something better, and so I've done something about it. My wife and I purchased a bread maker, bought the flour, the yeast, the sugar, the dry milk, whatever else we need for our bread. I did say yeast. I think I did, yeah. So I'm rambling on, but I don't want to ramble on too long. Just examine your spending habits. I know we're all a little stressed when we go to work in the morning. You know, you just dread it and thinking, it's going to be a crappy day and I need something to cope. So you go reach for that coffee. Going into the office, it's like some sort of I don't know, you hold on to a coffee, it's like a force field, and all the bullshit just splatters off to the side. Well, it doesn't really. A lot of people, you just watch your coworkers as they come in through the door with breakfast sandwiches and coffee, and watch them go out to the restaurants at lunchtime and spend and spend and spend. And then they have no money to take their kids to their hockey game. They have no money for this. And some of these folks do another big expensive habit that people have, and it's no joke. It's a serious drug addiction, is smoking. Smoking, I guess up here in Canada, it's about $8 or $9 a pack. I don't really know. And I can't imagine smoking a pack a day at that price. Oh boy, it would add up in a hurry. Can you imagine, like $50 just on cigarettes in 1 week? Holy cow, like that's a trip to Cuba with like 2 people for a week in the middle of winter. Or you could just smoke it. I don't think so. I'd take the trip to Cuba. Another thing too is drinking alcohol. A lot of people, they go get a case of beer at the end of the week. I don't know what a case of beer is these days. Somewhere between $20 and $30. So I mean, you add that up per week. All those little things add up. And you pay attention to those, and you may find yourself with $5,000 in your pocket at the end of the year, and you can manifest the returns and savings by putting it into a government pension plan, like an RSP up here in Canada, and I think it's a 401k in the United States, and shelter it from taxes. Again, making yourself 30% on $5,000, making yourself another $1,500. Now you can play the game the right way, or you can play it the hard way. A lot of us have chosen to do the hard way. I'm not in that camp. I like it the easy way. All this economic strife, political strife, and all this stuff has really provided an opportunity for like-minded folks like myself and others to make some money and save some money. And we've actually turned it into a game. And the kids are enjoying it too, quite a bit. We go to Canadian Tire or wherever we go, we just go and say, look, I'm not buying that, that's too expensive, I'll wait for a half price sale. And they come. more than 50% off. In fact, I wanted to get a battery today, as a matter of fact, for backup power. I have a solar panel and a regulator to charge up my battery. But it's very expensive, and it's not really that good. It's $199 or $200, and I know I can get it at half price. So I think I'll be waiting for the half price sale, which I suspect will be coming within about a month. And I'll check back on you with that tad bit of information. Hopefully it comes to true for me. And I would like to save money. I get excited about saving money. Anyway, this is the Cheap Bastard out. Thank you for stopping by.